is about graphs and transformations. So we're going to start off with cubic graphs, how to draw them. So we have our cubic equation here. So all we do is we work out when y equals 0, what does x equal? So this one is already factorized, so x is going to equal 3, x is going to equal 2, and x is going to equal -1. So this is where it crosses the x-axis. Next up, we do when x equals 0, what is the y-intercept? So that is -3. So when 0, so -3 times -2 times 1. So that will be +6. Okay, and then we just take values, values for when, as if when x is going to infinity and y is going to infinity. So we just choose two big values for x and y and see what they satisfy. It could be anything, just to see if it's a positive or negative. So then we start drawing our graph, and this one is going to look like this. So it's going to cross the 6, and if I take a negative x, a large negative x, I'm going to get so if I take a large negative x, I'm going to get minus, and this is going to be a minus. So if I take a negative x, so let's say negative infinity, y would also equal negative infinity. Because of this, it will still be a negative, and vice versa. If I take a positive infinity, y would equal a positive infinity. Therefore, the graph will start from down here. It will cross at -1, come to 6, come down to 3, so come down to 2, and then 3, and then go up. And here we could just fill it in: 6, -1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is a rough sketch for that graph. Next one, we do the exact same thing. Y equals 0, x equals, here it's kind of factorized for us, so x will equal -1, and x would equal 1 from this one here. When x equals 0, y equals, so 0, 1 times -1 will be -1. Yeah. And then let's take the infinity. When x is going to infinity, y is also going to infinity. That's fine. When x is going to negative infinity, so it'll be a minus times a minus times a minus, because of the squared, times another minus, so it'll be y is going to negative infinity still. Therefore the graph should start off from, these should be straight lines. Let me do it properly. Try to do it properly. Straight line. Alright, so we're gonna draw a sketch. So it's gonna, the graph's gonna come up from negative infinity, and it's gonna touch -1, and because of the squared, it's just gonna touch it and come back down to -1. That's the y-intercept, and then go back up to 1 and continue to infinity again. So 1, -1, and this here is -1. Okay, cool. Next up, we have our equation like this. So first what I'm going to do here is factorize, take out the x, then I'll have x squared plus x minus 2. That will equal x, and then we have x, 2 now is time to give you 2 minus 2 and x plus 1. This 2, oh, so it should be plus 1, negative 1 plus 2 here. So they would time to give me minus 2 and add to give me a positive 1. Therefore, when y is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, minus 2 and 1. Yeah, and then same when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Yeah, because of this 0 times makes it all 0. So I'll draw my graph. Again, I'll just pick 2 large numbers just to test the infinity limits. And this one here, it looks like this. So it's going to cut through minus 2. Start from the negatives, cut up minus 2. And it's going to go to 0. Cut 0 again. That's where it crosses the y-axis. And then come up to 1 and continue. So that'll be minus 2, 0, and that'll be 1. Okay, and that's where it crosses the y-axis. And for the last one, we have, so here, just say it kind of is factorized for us. So when x is 0, y equals 0. When y equals 0, x equals 2. And it crosses the 2 3 times. Alright, the crosses this 2 3 times, and then again we take our limits. So I'm going to start by drawing the graph, try to do the straight lines. There you go. For this one, it's gonna come, oh, minus 2, so when x is equal to 0, y equals minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. So it'll be minus 8 actually. So this will be minus 8. Sorry. And so then we do, it's coming from minus, cutting it at minus 8, and then going up to 2, and then shooting up. That's minus 8, and that is 2. And that is it for our examples on cubic graphs on how to draw them. So it's literally just factorize it, take x equals 0, find the value for y, take y equals 0, find the values for x, and then drawing the graph. Okay, these are the different examples.